everybody, I just wanted to pop in here and to give you some guidance and some tips and suggestions and even some reflections that I have about some things that I would probably change of my own work. So I just wanted to give that to you here. As you can see, this is my Cubist Clover. And what I tried to do is focus my greens in the middle. I did start to make the decision I was going to alternate with some greens and blues on the outside. I was just experimenting with it. And to be honest with you, I don't love how that turned out. I wish I would have kept this to a blue. So I may go back and cover that over with a darker blue to camouflage it. So just to give you that background information. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that I did use some Sharpie and I did use some colored pencil. Now the colored pencil I have is the twist up kind, which I find doesn't blend. It gives you a little more texture, than the regular colored pencils. So I'm going to kind of try a few strategies here, and I just wanted to share what my next steps will be. So a couple things I'm thinking about is I've spoken with some of you about using an eraser to blend colored pencil or crayon, because obviously your finger doesn't work as well as a Cray Pop, even though you can sometimes get a little more blending. So if you use the end of an eraser, you can just gently go over it, and very gently, because it does take off some of the color, and you can get rid of some of those stronger lines. Now, as you can see, I've used a combination of colors. So within the color family of blue and green, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I use some of those secondary and tertiary colors as well. We've talked about that with the color wheel this year. So just to give you kind of a visual of that, I'm showing you some of those crayon choices that I'm actually going to use myself. I don't have a ton of materials here. Mostly everything is at the art room still, but I do happen to have my daughter's crayons with me, so I'm lucky about that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to actually layer some more colors over what I've already done. So as you can see, I have kind of this light, almost like a cornflower blue. And when I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take, this happens to be a periwinkle, so it has a little bit of a purplish blue hue to it, and I'm going to layer over. So I've seen some of you have started your coloring process for this project. And what I would like to encourage you to do, if you've already gotten a layer of color on there, to see if you can start blending in some more in the color family regarding which colors you've chosen. The other thing I wanted to offer to you is that you do not have to do blue and green if you so choose. You could pick two other colors, but again, try and use colors within that family. The last thing I wanted to mention is that I'm going to leave going over in Sharpie optional. You don't have to do that. In fact, for some of you who've chosen to stick with a closer color family and are working on blending those colors, you may not want to add in that layer of Sharpie because it's going to visually break everything up too much. However, in my case, I feel like I have more color blocks because I chose to kind of go the distance with the different colors that I chose. So I may want to go over mine in Sharpie, I'm thinking, just because, like I mentioned, I do have those green patches. So I want to make them possibly pop and try and maybe turn them into an accent feature. I'm still going to decide on that. So I just wanted to share with you where I'm at with my project and to give you some suggestions. And again, feel free to change the color palette and to pick two other colors. But whatever you choose, I would stick with one to the Clover and one to the backgrounds. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope that helps. Take care.